Yes. All I hear is the music in the background, but I am here. There, we're fading out. What's up, everybody? We should be live on YouTube.
We think we are. Jonah's going to check for us.
No, music's still there. Still rolling in the background.
I will turn it off unless you're ready for some more Cisco. So a great Cisco meme this morning.
Cisco, is that not a shortening for the kitchen? That's
Crisco.
Oh, okay. All right. I was getting ready to say,
His cousin.
that's not ringing any bells.
Nope. Just right here. You remember Cisco?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay.
No, I don't.
You will in a second.
Maybe.
Know
You will in a second.
what guys talk about.
All right, where's my computer?
Maybe.
You know, the final.
Oh, my arm. Oh.
Check it out. Ooh, that dress so scandalous, and you know another nigga couldn't handle it. So you're shaking that thing.
What's up out there?
Look in your eyes so devilish.
Straight talk. What's up? Nina, it's back.
Not just urban.
I just saw you in the DMs the other day. I was looking through the DMs. It's great to see you back. Can you hear Cisco? Let us know.
Baby, move your
I think I'll sing it again. Jesse, you remember this one. This was big in your area.
I don't recognize the name.
Ready?
Let me see that phone.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so here's the meme, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off our Ask Me Anything hour. The meme said something like, now that we're, this morning I saw it, just text on the white screen. Now that we're all older, can Cisco come out with a banger that talks about full coverage shapewear? And I died laughing. Died. Thought it was so funny. Okay, we are. Can you hear? Can you hear? Yes. It's kind of small for us, guys, so give us a second. Can you read that? I'm still, glasses aren't better than contacts, it seems.
Whisper. Yeah, we're getting feedback that they love the music.
Yes, okay, we might get into some more money music. Okay, this is one of my favorite money songs coming up right here. First one to put it in the chat wins a cookie. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I no longer believe this song, but I do love the rhythm and the rhyme. But the message behind it actually originated with Ben Franklin. And of course, Ben Franklin is up in my office. So me and Jesse were talking about Ben Franklin last week a little bit as well. So
Is that what you're making the connection to? What we were talking about last week with Ben Franklin? What's the connection you just alluded to?
the name of the song, Mo Money, Mo Problems. It's a Poor Richard Almanac line.
Oh, okay.
Poor Richard had the quote. Hold on, let me find it. As we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, ask your questions. But here, what was it? He actually was the first person to say
That more money.
he who multiplies riches multiplies cares. AKA Mo Money, Mo Problems. It came from Ben Franklin, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's J-Do and Jesse in this Ask Us Anything hour. Last week it was a Don't Ask Us Anything for reasons that you'll have to go back and watch later. See if you can jump into any of the innuendo and hidden messages. But this week it's all on the table. What we're going to do is walk and talk you through the infinite banking concept. We've got money on the table. Shout out to our friends on the Cash Compound TikTok right now. J-Do and Jesse back again, your Cash Compound coaches. What we do here is we walk people through the save and spend system. We're going to show you how to save and spend your money at the exact same time. Jesse, that's our marketing term for what?
Infinite banking, being your own banker.
That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've ever heard that term, if you're on insurance talk right now, if you're on IUL talk, if you're on whole life talk, Nelson Nash talk, this is the channel for you. Go ahead and follow us right there. Ring the bell. School is in session. And welcome to our Cash Compound YouTubers as well. Oops, you know what I did not do? What I need to do is start our Zoom. Start our Zoom. See if anybody's waiting for us in the Zoom room. We go live on several different platforms here. So be ready for us to go back and forth to answer things that you guys may want to talk about today. It is your hour, so you can definitely,
It's a free for all.
yes. Yes, we've got Mindy out there, it looks like.
What's up, Liz?
Liz is back. Liz is my favorite person.
Understand.
Nina is
She's awesome.
top 12.
What's up, Nina?
And Mindy over here on Zoom, she's top 39. She's not number 39, but she's probably in the top 30. You are top 200 and... Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Who's the top? Benjamin Dover. Ben Dover. He tried to get me. He didn't get me. I caught you. Okay.
Almost.
All right. Life of Tim says, are you my dad's belt because you hit different? Let's go. Shout out to everybody who got abused by their fathers out there. Sorry about that, Life of Tim. But don't worry. Me and Jesse probably grew up with the rod. Our dads are Baptist, so it probably... Did you get...
The belt.
The belt?
The rod. The fly swatter.
Fly swatter. I don't think I got a fly swatter.
A legitimate handcrafted wooden paddle. Sure.
Everything. It was Tim the Toolman Taylor out here just whipping up the kids. Okay, so, all right, Mindy's laughing at all that. Mindy, hello. Okay.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Right. Okay. So, Jesse, where do we start today? What questions do you guys have? Did we get any questions already before we even get into
No questions. We've got a lively chat on the YouTube, but no questions yet. Go ahead and put those in the queue.
I've got my first one.
Y'all. All right, let's roll.
I've got my first one. Okay. Andrew says, just curious, what do you guys think of the MPI and Curtis Ray? You want to start with that one? Are you familiar with what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to start?
I can.
Okay.
Of course, the foundation for me is becoming your own banker, right? That's the set of principles. That's the paradigm. That's the philosophy that we're on board with here. Then it does beg the question, well, okay, if you're going to be your own banker, what's the ideal asset? And Curtis uses a particular asset, and we use a different asset. We go right to the book where it describes in becoming your own banker to use whole life insurance that's properly structured from mutual companies that pays dividends. That's what we own. That's what we use. That's the vehicle, that's the asset that we're choosing to implement becoming your own banker with, and for lots of reasons that we'll likely get into.
Okay, I'll say a little bit more. I've done a little bit more homework on it, I suppose, than Jesse's done because of two things. I read his book. Audiobook, of course. Did you get to his book?
So you listened to
He has
audiobook?
more than one book. I think it's his second book. Because the first one is Everyone Ends Up Poor. Maybe it's Everyone Ends Up Poor. But I think he has two books.
It's funny that you say read when it's listened.
Right. Listening to a book seems incorrect speech. So I have to say listen to an audiobook.
Okay. I'm just pointing it out.
Right. Okay.
No,
so,
I've not listened or read his
so
book.
I have listened to one of his books. I think he has two. And then secondly, I've watched him on TikTok, where you've probably seen him. If you're seeing us on TikTok, you've seen him there. If you have not read or watched his stuff more thoroughly, you probably should if you're going to consider what's going on over there. Mm-hmm. Jesse talked about the fundamental product for the purpose of banking. Curtis is not talking about the fundamental product, and he's not talking about banking. So you need to understand that first, Andrew. Jesse brought that up. That's what we are talking about, but he's not talking about those things at all. He is talking about utilizing a different type of product, an IUL, for the process of retirement income. Mm-hmm. Different conversation. As close as it may seem, it is different, and because it's different, we should discuss that. Do I like what he's talking about? No, but it's still different than what I'm doing anyway. So that's something we have to talk about every once in a while with Dave Ramsey as well. Do I like what Dave Ramsey is talking about? Yes. Is he talking about something different? Yes. He is talking about something different, even though I like it. So when he gets to what I'm talking about, he is actually wrong. What he's normally talking about is completely fine. So what Curtis Ray is utilizing is an IUL, an Index Universal Life Insurance contract, for the process of this crazy investment strategy that has no proven record to do it. It's not even old enough to accomplish it one time for the people who've been involved. The first MPI ever account, 2014. Jesse, when's the first policy you could bank with sold?
Hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, so we know it works. IULs are only as old as 1997, the first time Curtis built something for his process of MPI, aka retirement income, having a bunch of money and nest egged up inside your IUL that you can use and draw off of in a retirement scenario. It's only 2014 is the first time he tried. So I assume it's his own, and I assume it's probably going pretty well, I guess, for him at this point, but it's not even a proven system. So there's a lot of things to talk about over there, and I don't need to bash his character. I don't know his character, but I think his strategy is flawed like crazy. Okay?
Caleb
Hopefully that's
Williams
helpful.
had an interesting interview with him that he published sometime recently that I listened to that was interesting.
I have not. I think he did it potentially like 2 years ago, and I asked Caleb for it,
Right.
and he was like, I don't have an editor right now. So I did see it just came out, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I haven't gotten to it. It was literally like 2 years old by the time he got it edited. Second is Robert, one of our cash coaches around here, Coach Robert Lee. You guys have seen him. Follow him on the Better Investment, BI Academy, Better Investment Academy on TikTok somewhere. He also talked to Curtis. I think he has the audio only. I don't think it's a video. But anyway, great question. That was a long answer. You're welcome. Okay, the Grill Project says overfunded is best. It's a word we don't use very often here, but our friend Caleb does. We do that. We're going to purposely overfund whole life insurance. That's in the setup strategy, so we can utilize it for cash, even though we don't use the word overfunded very often here. No, that is a part of the setup and the strategy of what we're doing. Totally cool word to use. All right, let's see here.
Ready for the YouTube? Or are you rolling with something else?
Yeah, YouTube, go ahead.
Yeah, let's see. Hunter has a question. Do you recommend direct recognition policies or not, and why?
Take it.
So I'll start by saying that I own a policy from a direct recognition company, and it's actually my favorite. The only reason it's my favorite is because it's my first one. It's my oldest one, so it's the most efficient one. It's with a great company, great customer service. They pay dividends. I've banked a lot with that policy because it was built for the banking purpose. So I have both direct recognition and non-direct recognition policies, okay? And they bank, right? Now, my preference is non-recognition. I would rather have a policy that's not going to have a direct recognition on outstanding loans when it comes to the dividends that are earned. And some people might not even know. And that's why I preface by saying I own both types of policies. So you can bank with both, right? My preference, though, is to have non-direct recognition so that there aren't any changes to my dividend if I have outstanding loans.
Okay, so the answer for you, Hunter, out there, do we recommend? We don't. You can go and bank with either one, just like you can bank with a whole life policy that has not been set up for cash. You can bank with that. And if you have one of those policies, a Gerber policy that your grandmother started on you 40, 50 years ago, you can bank with it, and we can help you and show you how. So be careful and when you decide in your brain, not because we don't love you, we do. Thanks for the question. That do we recommend it or not? No, we don't go either way, but we do actually broker. We're brokers, multiple companies. We broker from companies that are, you can get direct recognition and non-direct. Jesse owns them from both. So do I. Okay, so it's not a huge deal. And honestly, the dividends inside whole life insurance policies from mutual companies is very, very similar either way. It's very, very similar. So think about that when people talk about this one's better than that one. The banking that you do, Hunter, is more important than how the dividend works.
For sure.
Yeah. Great question, my friend. All right, what's up? And hey, shout out to the Jordan Anderson. He is back. Jordan was live with me last night. I went live on this channel, as I do, most weekdays, I guess. And Jordan said, when I held up the book, Becoming Your Own Banker, hold it up for everybody so we can see. This is the manual, the field guide, as you might. That's a good word that Jesse would use probably. Of the field guide for what's going on here. It's not a sales book, okay? It's going to help you and I understand all the possibilities, infinite, of utilizing whole life insurance for your own financing needs. I held that book up, and Jordan last night was like, I got to go ahead and get another one. I was like, oh, I saw that comment. What do you mean get another one?
Another one.
My man had it 15 years ago. Didn't start. Doesn't even have the book anymore. I was like, Jordan, wow, you get off. You're not even allowed anymore. I don't.
No, you don't.
I
have
didn't say
15
that.
Yeah,
you're right. But I was like, Jordan. He was like, oh no. He was like, yeah. So George's my guy. Okay. Do I know Gary Kaplan? I don't. Is that? Tell me why I would know Gary Kaplan, or why I wouldn't, or where I would, or where I wouldn't. Okay. I look forward to talking to you, Jordan. Come on, let's make it happen. Okay, Mindy, we give preferential treatment to anybody who shows up on the Zoom. Mindy, give us a question, give us a comment or concern that you have out there. Mindy is a agent in training on our team, soon to be coach for sure. She is in the real estate space, and part of what brought her toward infinite banking after she also, like Jordan, heard and knew about it 20 years ago.
I saw her laughing when you were talking about Jordan.
Is because people who are in business start to hear about and learn real estate transactions, leveraging money well. Becoming a bank is way more vernacular for them.
Yeah, equity, capital.
And so that's how she was reacquainted with what's going on. Mindy, do you have, hopefully we can hear you, do you have any thoughts, concerns, or questions?
I want to go back to the MPI. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
MPI.
there was a little delay. I was nervous. Yep, we can hear you.
So I have a friend who's, one of my groups, and she really promotes the MPI and was trying to get me to watch the videos. I've not watched them yet, but she focuses on retirement, which to me, retirement is, because she's at that age and that she didn't save for retirement as much as she should have. So I understand her concern about that. But I also work with a lot of people who, and so I'm trying to figure this out. I'm not saying this is a good product or not. I don't know enough about. I didn't know anything about it.
Sure.
It's interesting to hear you guys talk about it. But I know a lot of people don't want to wait till retirement age to retire. Does that make sense? They want to be able. So to me, that's what infinite banking allows you to do. To basically retire, if you do things right, you set things up, and what have you, you can retire. At any age. As long as you're financially set. So. I'm just curious.
So
they focus on
great question.
That MPI focuses on retirement per se.
Okay, so let's recap that for our audience here. I think YouTube can hear it, but our TikTok can't. So thank you, Relatable Couple, for helping us be reminded. Okay, Mindy was saying on the Zoom channel, you can register for the Zooms. You can join us there each and every week. And every 1-2 weeks, we show visuals for you here. We show new slides. We give new teaching, training topics. So if you want to join that community on a Zoom on Thursday, follow here and pre-register. Absolutely free, of course. Okay, Mindy was saying that the focus in the conversation around MPI, which those of you on TikTok have seen this guy because we're going to show up in each other's algorithms, is retirement, okay? Is retirement. That's not the same thing as banking. Retirement is a destination or time in the future, and there's two ways to get there. Get old enough and you're kicked out of the regular working job system in a bureaucratic America. That's one way to retire. And the other way to retire is have enough money coming in so you can do what you like, which it gets conflated sometimes in the MPI community. It gets conflated everywhere. But so let's talk about this for a second. MPI is in its marketing talking to people who say, by the time you do this policy this way, you'll have X in retirement forever. That's what he's saying. There's nothing wrong with what he's saying. Do I believe it's going to work? No. There are several caveats in there as well around your health because you're going to need multiple policies for it. IULs often have decreasing caps and limits to what you can earn. You don't control the market, neither does the insurance company. The cost of the cost of the insurance rises, even if your premium stays the same. There are several things going on over there. And so the conversation, and on top of that, I've got to admit now, let me be honest, it's confusing for me, and I really know infinite banking well.
Right.
It's confusing. But we have another colleague out there in this space. He runs a brokerage like the Cash Compound called Factum Financial. His name is Kyle Fuller. He's in Arizona. And he has gotten a hold of a few people's illustrations, which is most of the time going to be from a specific company we've all heard of. It is a mutual company. They're buying IULs from it. And something, I don't remember, it was like a $10,000 a year premium, and it literally was illustrating. We all laughed out loud when he said, someone sent me theirs, and the whatever the number was. It was a modest number, even if it was high for some of you out there. $10,000, $20,000 a year. Cash value in retirement was $80 million.
Preposterous.
Correct. We like everyone laughed, belly laughed for a second, and then got confused. Furrowed brow. What? Not a thing.
Voodoo magic.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Appreciate you, relatable couple. If you have questions, comments, and concerns out there about how to save and spend your money at the exact same time, you're in the right place. It's J.Do and Jesse, cash compound coaches around here, meaning we actually practice infinite banking ourselves in our own family, multiple policies from mutual insurance companies set up to be able to take cash from. I took a loan, took a loan yesterday. Jesse, it ain't hard. When's the last time you took a loan, man?
Within a month or two.
Yeah. How long did it take? Was it difficult? How many questions did they give you?
2 questions. Once they verified who I was. Okay, how much of what's available do you want us to send to you? And do you want a check in the mail or a direct deposit to your bank? Yep.
That seemed easy. Okay, that's it.
So let's segue into the next YouTube question.
Let's
So
go.
the next YouTube question is, what do you think about using your bank to pay everyday bills?
I
So
love
these
it.
policy loans that we're taking or that anybody else is taking, can they be used for regular recurring expenses?
Here's my answer. F that. Yeah, let's finance that, baby. Let's finance that. Jesse, I'm working on a new keynote and a teaching topic called Use the F word, man.
Okay. I was going to
Use
say,
the
that's the first time I've heard you answer it that way.
Yes, I'm working on it right now.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Okay, so at our Money Multiplier Mastermind, we've got cohorts and colleagues at the Money Multiplier. If you've seen them on the interwebs out there, Chris Noggle, Brent Kessler, Hannah Kessler, we're going to be speaking. When I say we, it's Jonah and I, my brother, are speaking at the Nashville event, and that's exactly one of my keynotes.
I'm
Use the F word.
writing that down. F that. Got
F
it.
that. You know what? If somebody says, I don't know if I could be an infinite banker, F you, man. I'm going to finance you. We're going to go for it. Yes, you can. So here's where you have to be careful about it. That's a marketing ploy to get everybody interested in listening to my keynote and coming back after lunch to sit down and watch it, right?
An explanation.
But yeah, let's get the explanation out right here for you. Let's go to the subcategory, the subtopic, the subtitle, which is a little less provocative. Okay. Yes, what we suggest is building a banking system large enough to accommodate all of your financing needs.
Yeah.
We need to tell our friend out there, what's the name? Because I can barely see.
That was
Nelson?
Was
No.
Jake.
Jake.
Yep.
Jake, let me give you a quote from the man himself, Nelson. You finance everything you buy, man. You either borrow money and pay interest to whoever money you're using, or you lose the interest you could have made because you spent your money. That's why we're going to finance everything. Over time, number one, most people have debt. Most Americans, North American, we live in a culture of debt, and we're paying out the wazoo, crazy interest rates to third parties. We're typically going to teach and preach and help people become their own banker by utilizing their cash values from the jump to get out of debt. Lots of people have debt. And then after that, you might want to finance one or two big things because you realize, well, the car is going to go at some point, so let's finance it through our own system. But thirdly, you might want to be expanding your system to family members, extra policies, and get a big enough bank where you would never lose your money. Your money would go in your bank, premium, red cup, and you have enough money in there, and it's been a long enough time, and your expenses are within range to utilize your own banking system, even for your everyday stuff.
Yeah. There's a page in Nelson's book where he talks about cars, appliances, just all the normal things.
Yeah, so you're financing it right now, my friend, Jake, I think, and the problem is you're not winning off your own financing approach because you're either paying your cash and losing it, which is the hardest one to grasp for people.
Yes.
Or you're obviously using credit cards or someone else's money and you have to pay them interest. Great stop. It's a great question. I don't know what I was going to say. Great stop, great shot, great whatever.
And F that.
F that, baby. Let's go. F yeah, F no, F you, F them. We're going to finance everything. Let's go. Let's build a big enough system so we can accommodate all of our needs. And not just our needs, Jesse, other people as well.
Yeah, I loved what you said about we're not the only people that are financing things. It naturally just makes sense to build this out to where it's the bigger picture, the family at large, or business partners, or so many different implications, infinite implications, right? Of everything's financed by everybody. So you accommodate for your recurring expenses, right? As they're appropriate and approachable, right? Whether it's the washing machine, the car, the property taxes, the whatever that you're going to finance anyway, finance that for yourself. And then when you do that long enough, you get to where you've got too much capital. And then there are
too much capital? Is that possible?
Isn't that beautiful? Well, yeah, when you start
Jesse,
when you start
you're speaking my language, man.
Right? You start keeping the interest dollars that otherwise go to other people. You have so much capital that you are accommodating your needs, and then other opportunities present themselves within the family at large, or whatever your financial footprint looks like at large. And then there you could be banking with others as well.
Let's go. Words with friends, banking with friends. Let's go, right? Let's create an app. Let's do this. Okay, our question over here from Andrew. I think Andrew asked something earlier. He's back. Say I'm an investor, Jesse. I give you $180,000. What does it turn into in 10 years?
There's no telling.
There's no telling.
I mean, there's no telling what I would do with 100. But I'm not. I wonder why you asked.
Yeah,
that
Andrew,
question.
are you saying that you're starting a policy with $180,000? Or are you saying that you're going to be a investor in Jesse's real estate project?
Right.
What are you saying? Help us out, Andrew. We're waiting for you. We love you.
I think we could presume that he's probably saying.
I don't know. Can we? The way it's written.
I mean, it's one way to talk about it. Anyway,
Andrew,
is
text fast. Text fast. We don't know what you
because
mean.
people do. People conflate. I was on the phone earlier today with a gentleman from California, and he, 3 times used the investing word.
Whoa! Use the F word, California man.
Used the investing word instead of the F word. We should have been using the F word in our conversation and talking about things that he needs to finance for himself, because this is not an investment. This policy, this save and spend system that we teach people about.
This is the bank. Okay, this is the bank. So, Andrew, if you're still out there with your question, please rephrase it. Give us a little more context. That'd be great for us. Thank you. We'd love to know. Well, let's answer it in both ways. I'll answer the question if you're an investor, if you're a policy. You do it because you're an investor or the recipient of his investment. If you give $180,000 in premium to an insurance company, then you bought insurance with it. Insurance at a mutual company, and whole life insurance at that, will buy you a big death benefit. 2 times, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times your premium, because that's what insurance is. Depends on how healthy you are, how ugly you are, how much death benefit it'll be. It'll come out to your family, of course. That's what you bought. Cash value is how much of the death benefit you can go invest with Jesse with.
Which would also be a relatively significant number based on what you're providing here.
Relatively significant is a good way to put it. Okay, Andrew, we're here for you. All right. Anything else from our friends on YT? We're on YT, TT, FB, and there's one more. YT, FB, IG, ladies and gentlemen. Did you realize that they all rhymed?
You've said that before, but I wasn't trying to mentally keep track of.
And LinkedIn, which doesn't rhyme with anything. Okay. So you can follow us at The Banking Bros on IG and The Cash Compound everywhere else for sure. And we're going to keep the dice rolling, as we say, about utilizing a properly structured, as we might say often, whole life insurance, guaranteed to grow in cash flow, policy for the cash. For the cash. It's going to become the bank for you in a private environment. Let's go. Jesse loves private environments.
Yes.
That's everything that Jesse stands for. Jesse, tell us why that is important to you. What is it behind privacy? What is it behind control that just relates to you and might relate to other people who are considering this?
Yeah, the independence of it, the autonomy of it, whether it's privatizing my food supply systematically by planting orchards and vineyards and growing vegetables and keeping chickens, it's whatever it happens to be, that That's very nice. Be able to walk outside on the property and
Just take a bite of a chicken.
Yeah, just have a fresh fruit. Right.
Oh, fruit. I thought it was a chicken.
or-
Just take a bite of a chicken.
Well, maybe not of a chicken. We still cook the chicken.
Got it.
But extrapolating that out to finances, building a private family banking system where we're not asking permission from somebody to go out and finance something that we want to do. We've proactively built up the capital to be able to go out and do the things that we would have wanted to do anyway and be profitable like the banks are profitable at the same time. So it's the control plus the profitability.
Not only can you walk outside barefoot and take a bite of a chicken or an apple, there will be more of them tomorrow, is what he's saying.
People are going to be picturing me running through the yard like I am, grabbing a chicken to bite it.
Yeah, that's what I picture. Is that not what you do? That's exactly what.
No.
You guys should follow Jesse on Durham Talents and decide for yourself. Jesse, where can we find your socials?
Yeah, my name, Jesse W. Durham, on the socials, Durham Talents. You can also find the website, durhamtalents.com.
But you can't find the website on the TikTok.
It's still the email for the moment, yes.
I screenshotted it earlier today so I could say, hey, Jesse, we got to fix that. Yeah, I saw it. I was watching your stuff.
I check my emails.
Okay.
The people can reach me.
Very good. You can find Jesse. Jesse, you're giving great conversation starters right now to people this week. You mentioned a guy in California. You've been taking calls?
Yeah.
What is the approach that you have for walking people through their questions and on the phone? And
Okay. Well, the approach is they hopefully have seen a presentation, right? Whether it's the presentation on my website or YouTube channel, whether it's the cash compound presentation, that's the starting point where we got started. We saw a presentation first, so that's what I lead with for sure. And then it's free consultation calls, of course. After that, where we're sharing our best practices, answering questions, speeding up people's learning curves, because we've got close to a decade of experience to be able to share with people. So we're having those free consultation calls, and then we're doing all the extra stuff like this right here. And we've been podcasting and YouTubing, both Cash Compound, me, myself as well, just putting our best practices out there.
So, ladies and gents, remember the call to action around here for you. The next step is to click the link, go to our channel's hub, wherever you are, click the link for a free consultation. It might say free consultation, and it might say watch the video. Those two places are where you want to go, because we have a full-length feature. I've got one that I'm in, Jesse's got one that he's in, and then you can schedule a time. Get on our calendar, absolutely free, to ask your questions about doing this. What does it look like if I do this? I think I have dollars in my life that are inefficient currently, in the wrong places. They have bought expenses and liabilities, Kiyosaki said, but the rich and wealthy put their dollars in an asset first. And I want to put my dollars, $10 an hour, $10,000 a day. I want to put my money in an asset, Jesse.
Yep.
So help me understand how this asset works for me. That's what we're here to do. So we're going to help you and set that up.
I love it. All right, so next question from YouTube. Phone Tech is asking this. So when you take the loan, your premium accumulation stays in the account, growing. That's going to be cup number one.
Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes. Let's pause right there and just say yes. Uninterrupted compound growth from your premiums. Got it. Then you repay your account to...
So let's take it out. I'll take it out.
Continue growth. Okay. Correct. All right. So that's your question. Is that correct? All right. So yes to the first part, right? That we already answered. Premiums, compound and grow uninterrupted, while you still have this access to the cash value. So let's say you take that out. You already took some of that out.
I'm going to take out 20 grand for a deal.
Beautiful. We've taken that out. Does this keep growing? Yes. And then is the second part of that to put that back in? Yes. Now, when you make a policy loan repayment, you're just refilling the reservoir for the next deal or the next thing that you're going to finance.
My man.
Right.
We converting them.
All right. But if you're practicing banking, interest is always involved, right? So that extra that you earn from that deal or that you recaptured that used to go to other people is also going to go back in your system. Okay, that's going to be additional premium. See where JD's putting that back in cup number one. That's additional premium, which of course, anytime premium's paid, death benefit goes up, cash value goes up. So that's where you see the growth, right? Like that's where the real magic is at. Yes, the policy is automatically going to have its growth because you paid premiums and that compounds uninterrupted. But by you banking, because of your access to capital, because of you having this control, you can go out and do profitable things, whether it's, you know, Andrew or whoever talking about investing earlier, or whatever it happens to be, things that we're financing. That interest that otherwise used to go to other people, now it's in our system instead.
Let's go. So hopefully, sorry, TikTok, you probably missed some of that visual, but we've got lots of videos that you can watch that in 1 or 2 minutes. That was a great question, and it was a great response, Jesse, I think, on how you helped us walk through that. Your dollars stay in the game, red cup around here, stay in the game, constantly compounding, uninterrupted compound interest still is there.
Yep.
You can go buy the things that you take the money for. You get the things, you place the money back with interest into your system that continues bigger growth, uninterrupted, never stopped, and you got the thing you wanted, the thing you bought.
That's where the infinite results are at, is in the banking aspect.
There we
of
go.
this.
Okay, question out there, the Grill Project. Do you utilize permission to spend? I think you're talking about the book. Yes? And I went to the website today. Let me know, the Grill Project. Tom Wall, Dr. Tom Wall, permission to spend? How to and why and what people are getting wrong about retirement and how they can use whole life insurance for retirement, because we were talking about retirement earlier. That is a great book. Tom Wall is a great guy, and that book is on point, 100%. I do believe that I have a podcast with him, so you can find that on our YouTube channel, The Cash Compound. And
I'm not sure if I've listened to that one.
And I have the book as well. I think I just bought the book off Amazon, so I don't think he's like autographed it or anything. But I met him in 23, and yes, 100%. He has a PhD in retirement planning, and his number one mission out there is like, people need to understand whole life insurance.
Right.
That's
Love
what
it.
they don't get. They need that. Okay, so is that what you're talking about? Grill Project. Man, I'm getting hungry. Grill Project. Let's go.
Are you okay?
Permission to spend has been around for some time. I was asking if you utilize it. Well, let me know if I'm guessing the right thing. Permission to spend is a book. And is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about something else? If you're talking about something else, I don't know what it is. I'd love to know. Purple Rain, Chocolate Rain. Okay. Invested in VOO, you would have around $600,000 after 10 years. That was a response to something over here. Invested in VOOO, you'll have 60 bajillion. That's not what we're talking about. You can use your cash value to invest in whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
VOODOO, Voodoo, you can invest in whatever you want. Okay, so.
I was speaking with somebody earlier today, and he
Yeah.
gave me 3 examples, another professional in the space. He gave me 3 examples of how people had used cash value because they got guaranteed cash value from whole life insurance.
Yeah.
One was somebody who knew something about antique cars. Got a $200,000 car, turned it into an $800,000 car. How cool.
The Jetsons?
I don't know anything
Yeah, I don't know how
about,
to do that. I don't
antique
know what's
cars, but
happening.
he did.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Somebody else, fountain pens. Antique
Let's go.
fountain pens. And then somebody else, a rancher, would buy their cattle at the opportune time of the year because they had access to capital instead of used to. They were just kind of beholden to that market, and they could only get what they could get when they could get it, kind of thing, versus
Infinite. Love
Uh-huh.
it. Because I don't know anything about those, what to those people are asset classes. I don't know anything about that. I do not know how to turn cars into assets, cash flowing, investment opportunities you can sell off to. I don't know any of that.
right.
Nothing. Cash will buy you whatever you want. It buys you options and resources, or it gives you time because you don't want those options and resources, so you pay someone else to do it. Okay, that's what cash is good for, right?
It's just, no, for sure. It's a neat thing to hear about, all the different ways that you can.
My dream car is a chauffeur, for instance. Is a chauffeur, so that's how I'd use my $200,000.
F that.
Right? I love it. Jesse's coming over with me to the dark side, people. 2 weeks straight. It was, don't ask me anything last week. And this week it's F that. We're talking about financing everything that you've got in your life or want to have in your life.
We're getting colorful around here.
We should. People are ready for it. This is what they want, I think. Okay. Anything else? Mindy, anything from here? Anything from there, Jesse? I can't tell.
No, we're caught up on YouTube, which is good. That means it must have been a good answer. If you've got a follow-up question, Phone Tech, run that by us too.
Yeah, we are often going to get off track from maybe the one specific thing that you were thinking or trying to ask, because maybe the vocabulary or language you or us are using creates a little bit of a rift of communication. So rephrase a question, ask slightly differently, expound on someone else's question. We're here to learn. So when someone asks something and you kind of go, oh, that just brought up this idea to me, do it, drop it, let us know.
We've had a good bit of retirement talk too.
We have.
That was in another conversation that I had today.
Let's think about this. Let's think about retirement, though. Let's talk about it for a second. Ladies and gentlemen out there who are listening to us, here's what I might ask you right now. If you retire at 65, can we say that? 65 years old, that's a typical retirement historical age. We're all living longer, we're all more broke, and the government spends more money, so it's probably stupid to think that. But 65, you guys with me?
Roll with it.
All right, 65 years old. If you're generally healthy at that point, probably if you're married, you live longer. Here's my question. How long are you going to live without working?
Not long. Without working?
No. Well, no. How long are you going to live if you
I
don't
see.
work in retirement? How long is retirement? My definition of retirement here is I do not actively work for money. So
Gotcha.
how long until you die if you live to 65? How long do you think you're going to live without working? Take a guess, Jesse. What do you think?
Me personally, I'm
There's a
looking
lot
to
of
120.
There's a lot of studies on this. Okay, so that's literally another 65 years.
Right.
125, right? 65 is
Long time.
130. Okay, is 130. Okay? You guys with me? Okay? Mindy, do you understand? How long are you living, Mindy? You're married, you're happy, you make it to 65, you stop working for active income. When do you pass away? Take a guess. What do you think? What is your family living to these days? What is society saying right now based on you ate your Wheaties or whatever?
When you first asked that, I was thinking about like Nelson's section in the book on retirement, like having purpose, having, something.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I first thought of.
Okay. Mindy, what do you say? She's on the Zoom down here with George?
Could be, I mean, obviously nobody's got a crystal ball, but 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Yeah.
Okay, got it. These people are trying to live way longer than me. My arm hurts so bad right now. My back hurts. I'm not trying to live to 65 and then live another 60. Y'all are crazy. Okay, I'm going to let you have it. Why don't we say 120 years old? 120 years old. Okay, that means you're going to live another 60 years after retirement time. Maybe 55, maybe 50.
What is it, 78 maybe?
Right now, of course, it's rising. Everybody's saying
Sure.
the numbers are trending up for North Americans right now. Western world, we got a lot of medicine things happening, decent economies of agriculture and medicine, blah, blah, blah.
Round it up to 80 then. Call it 80.
80 years old, 15 years. Okay, so 15 years. Here's the next question. We wanted to talk about retirement a little bit. The Grow Project asked a question real quick. Let me get it.
Yeah, we'll ask about
Do you fear the internal growth of whole life may not get taxed? Do you fear the internal growth on whole life may get taxed? That is a question that everyone wants to go around and ask. It's never been taxed in the history of 200 years of its existence in this country, but there's legislative risk is actually the answer to that.
I get that.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think the answer
it's
is
never been.
both historical, who knows, and the grandfather aspect.
Yeah, and the grandfather aspect.
So there's
yeah,
all
right.
that at the
Like,
same
what
time.
if it does, but it can't apply or wouldn't apply to policies that already
Right.
were under an IRS code that never had
So
that?
better to go ahead and have a privatized banking system so that you can pivot with other entities or plans or private contracts in the future.
Okay, so here's the question, everybody. How much money does it take for you and yours to live today, this year? We can adjust for inflation based on the simplicity of my question, but you've got to live 15 years without working. How much money does it cost your family to make it this year?
Well, we can run outside and grab chickens and just bite them for food. So
Regular
I don't know if
people.
we should,
Regular
we should
people
probably
can
use some
answer
kind
this
of
question.
Average statistic.
Regular people, not homesteaders who've lived on that land since before the war. And I mean revolutionary. Okay, that's his family, not mine. Okay, so let's say 100,000.
Okay.
100,000 for your family, my family, or anybody out there listening to us. 100,000 times 15 years is how much money?
$1.5 million.
$1.5 million. That's how much your family needs to maintain the same lifestyle in the event that there's no inflation.
Thanks for giving me a pause there.
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, it would have taken me longer unless I'd done this in my head 100 times. $1.5 million. Here's my question. How you doing so far? You need $1.5 million by the time you hit 65. Mindy, are you on track yet? George Irvin, are you on track out here
George
on TikTok?
Is on? Awesome.
Yeah,
What's up,
George popped up 5 minutes ago. Okay, $1.5 million. And here's the next question, Jesse. How old are you now?
39.
39, about to be 40. That means you have 25 years to get to that nest egg number. I just introduced you to the traditional financial planning world.
Yep.
Nest egg. Do you know that you're going to live 15 years?
No.
No, you want to live 60 after that point. Do you know what things cost at that point? Do you know what taxes are?
I do not know what.
Do you know what inflation is going to be doing?
Nope.
And your health care is going to be really important in your last few years. Mm-hmm. It's way different today. Me and you probably spend a combined $1,000 on our health care this year.
Maybe
Go
a
to
little extra for your shoulder.
Right. Chiropractor a little bit, get some special toothpaste. That's not how your healthcare costs work when you're 105.
Healthcare costs right now is buying barbells and stuff.
Right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand that? How are you on track? Now, if you're not 40 years old, we're basically combined average age here of 40 years old. That's 25 years until that retirement age for us. That's a mythical age that we all made up. We have 25 years to accumulate 1.5 million, and that's to keep the same standard, no inflation. I don't know what taxes are going to do. I have no idea what my healthcare costs are going to be, and I have 25 years to get 1.5 million in a pile somewhere. It's got to be liquid too. It can't go down.
Right.
It can't be in an environment once I turn 65 that it drops. Do you guys understand how crazy it is for a financial planner to walk you through that scenario I just walked you through? It's ridiculous. F that.
Yep.
It doesn't even make sense. How can someone tell me, well, how many rounds of golf do you want to play in your last few? Number one, I don't know. Number two, how much does golf cost at this point? Like, how do you figure these types of things out? How about we plan for cash flow? We're code cracking cash flow coaches around here. We're trying to help you think through ever increasing liquid dollars till you die. Not a nest egg. Nest egg makes
Completely
no sense.
different.
Makes no sense. So hopefully that's a helpful thought exercise for you and for the folks who are coaches out here. We have weekly coaches out here who are part of our team. Liz out there, I think she's Elizabeth on YouTube. Mindy here. We've got to walk people through that thinking scenario.
Yep.
Because a lot of people out there, your friends and my friends, our parents, our neighbors, they're doing things where they're playing the nest egg approach stockpile game. And
Trying to save for $1 million to have the nest egg. Yeah.
And I don't know of many people at all who played that game throughout their working career that are now at that age who have achieved anywhere near what they thought it was supposed to do for them when they started playing the game at 21, 25, 30 years old. It's not it. Because why? Because they still work. That's one thing. It's real obvious. They still work. They still have jobs at 75 years old.
That's what I was going to say. Is I was on the phone with a guy earlier today, teacher, and he sat down with his financial advisor.
Our Massachusetts teacher? No.
Nope.
Massachusetts. New Hampshire?
Nope, from somewhere else.
Okay.
Nope, somewhere else. And got down to his last 60 days before the planned retirement age, and found out that he was not going to be able to retire on time. And he was a coach and just real active in the school, and just basically cut all that out and had to go back to school, really just to put in time to, like 2 or 3 more years or whatever it was, to be able to try to get a better situation.
And I promise you that situation, without even knowing, and I promise it like I'm supposed to know for sure, that situation that's a better situation isn't going to be covering everything.
Yeah.
It still wouldn't cover everything.
It still didn't do it.
I never understood, and this is probably a foreshadowing of what I do now, helping people in this process. And that's why we're coaches out here. Mindy and Elizabeth out here and Jesse, is I always wondered, because I was not a finance bro as I grew up. It's not how my family spoke.
Yeah.
That's not, it wasn't a topic for us. I always say it wasn't taboo in our family. You could talk about money, but what was there to talk about? So it's not like we were hiding things. There was nothing to hide. So like we can talk about whatever you want. We broke. But people used to always say, and the people you knew best were your parents' friends, your friends' parents, church people in my world, coaches in youth soccer or something, and teachers, your teachers. Those are the adults I knew.
Yeah.
I heard them say all the time, people all throughout my life, and I don't understand what they mean. Well, yeah, I'm going to retire and I'm going to get a new job. I was like, then you're not retiring. Like, I'm so confused. I did not know. I'm not saying like, that's not retirement and see, it didn't work for you. I didn't know what they meant. What does retirement mean then? If you're going to retire and then you're going to go get another job, then I don't understand the term.
You've hit this arbitrary 20-year, 30-year, or 10-year, whatever.
I don't think that means what you think it means. It's like, what was going on in my head? Why isn't anyone explaining this to me? I don't like working now. I'm 12. I don't like doing your homework. I don't like. So how do I retire and actually do it?
Right.
Retire. It's passive cash flow.
Yeah.
It's passive cash flow.
That's
It's always the answer, right? Doesn't matter how you get it. You can own vending machines. You can have rental properties. You can own a Starbucks that you don't have to work at. I don't know. I give this analogy all the time. I'm going back to some of my roots on this thing, talking about general terms like retirement and things like that. I like this conversation. I used to ask people this. I had interns for years before I was even doing infinite banking, and they'd work for me in my marketing companies. I had video and marketing and things like that. And I'd say things like this. Have you ever heard of Walmart and the founding family of Walmart, the Waltons? Sam Walton and Alice Walton, I think is her name, his wife, and they have 5 kids. I think one died in a plane crash 15 years ago or something. Richest family in America, right? They're all worth billions with a B, and it's something nuts, like mom and oldest son, I think oldest son is dead, so next oldest son or something, $45 billion, and then the other 3 siblings or whatever on the Forbes list are $20 billion. Crazy numbers. I can't fathom those numbers. Okay, here's what I always ask. If you, Jesse, you and yours, if you have $20 billion, and you own something, do you shop at Walmart?
For sure.
There's no way I'm going in Walmart. I have $20 billion.
Well, I mean, I'm not personally going to go in there.
Do you shop at Walmart if you have $20 billion? No, do you shop at Walmart if you have $20 billion?
No. F that.
F that, right? Okay, right? Okay, second question. If you have $20 billion and you own Walmart, which they do you work at Walmart?
No, you're not the one that's working.
You're not the one that's working. You and I have to understand that they own and or control an environment that kicks off this money.
Sure.
You pay someone else $1 million a year to run the company for you. And if they do a good job of making sure your $20 billion stays $20 billion, I give them a raise of $2 million.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I'm not showing up to this crappy spot, right?
You have effed it.
Yes, correct. Okay. You guys understand what I'm saying by this. If you own or control something, that is the name of the game. It's not working at Walmart. It's owning or controlling the cash flow.
I got you.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I used to think about that all the time. I was like, I've got to figure out how to own or control something. I did not know enough about business, never took business in school, anything like that. And now I realize that, like Robert Kiyosaki says, I take the dollars that I do make, $10 an hour, $10,000 a day, and I put them in an environment that immediately buys security privately and cash flows.
Buy the asset. I got it.
F that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Okay. What else we got out there? Anything? Appreciate you guys following along with us here. We have no problem cutting it a few minutes short today. We got George out there, though. George, if you can hear me, see me, or feel me, give me a question there in the Zoom chat or unmute yourself. Happy to entertain your thoughts.
I still owe him a text message. George, I was driving. That's the only reason I've seen your text message. I will reply to it.
Do you need to, or can we do it right here?
I mean, well,
or do we have to hashtag protect the wealthy and we can't say?
No, I don't think it's very generic. It's owning policies on children. Do they have to be minor children? Do they have to be adult children? The answer is no.
The answer is no. All right, there's your response.
You're 2 weeks old.
2 weeks old.
You can get a policy on.
Remember, your great grandma bought a policy on your parents. Gerber. Remember, they were obviously minor children at the time. It's easier to get through the underwriting at that point. Children often have no need for a medical exam, and that policy goes through the system quite a bit quicker when we're trying to get to banking. So we can customize those policies on purpose for the use of banking. Mindy started a policy on a minor grandchild recently.
Awesome.
You have a few children and you have policies on them.
Yes, 3 children. Policies on all of them.
Boom. I have 4 children. Policies on all of them. I own it. I bank with it. They decide to up and die. I'm going to get the benefit. I put myself down as the beneficiary, right? God forbid they pass away while they're young, still in my house. What a terrible, devastating time. It's still insurance, but if they don't, sheesh, they be costing money. So I got to use this cash value to take care of them.
Get it. Yep.
Don't they, though?
I shouldn't get too liberal with the F word, but I like it.
When you
very
talk about the
much.
kids, just curb your enthusiasm, Jesse. All
Finance
right.
it. Yes, you got to finance the expenses.
Right. Well, that's what's going to make it fun. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be at the Money Multiplier Mastermind. It's been dormant for a couple years, COVID and other things. We're in Nashville, Tennessee, October 10 through 12. I'm speaking. Mindy's going to be there. Joan is going to be there, my brother. We're on a few panels. I got a game show I'm planning. I got a keynote called Use the F Word. You're going to want to be there. It's going to be funny. And if your kids are at least 12 and you bring them, it's going to be fine. That's another F word. It's going to be fine. Okay, so I'm not controversial in my speech and entertainment or teaching on stage, but this is obviously a provocative thing. But kids these days, they be seeing stuff on TV. Not Jesse's kids. They bite chickens. But the rest of our kids probably saw something on YouTube. Or something.
Right, more TikTok questions.
Okay, do we have any more? 1 or 2 and then we're done. Melissa, what's up? Are you able to get afford policies if you work at like a fast food place? First off, we need to get hooked on phonics because that's a crazy question. Okay, I think I can decipher it, but Melissa, yikes. Sometimes these crazy questions slip off our fingers too fast and they get all jumbled and stuff like that. Melissa, holy, it's like, okay, Melissa, if you make $10 an hour at Mickey D's or $10,000 a day, I think you should place your money in the right spot.
Yep.
It's okay, Melissa. Obviously, we're out here doing like crazy captions and stuff like that on these videos because these AI things and all the autocorrect takes care of it. I think I know what you're talking about. It doesn't matter how much money you make. The question, Jesse, is how much do you keep?
None. Until you become your own banker.
Well, we want you to keep it, yes, until you become your own banker. So it doesn't matter how much you make. We want to have a conversation with you. Please click the link in the bio. Watch our video. We're going to use numbers potentially that are above your pay grade in our example. Then we're going to talk to you. Pick a time. We'll call you, and then we'll talk about numbers in your pay grade. But we're going to talk about banking either way. Doesn't matter if you're the assistant to the general manager, or you're in the drive-thru. Make sense?
And then somebody else was asking how much is the policy, and the answer there's what we're just talking about here is you decide what to fund the policy at.
You pick the premium, okay? You pick it. So you're going to tell us. We're going to help you get there by answering questions or telling you things that we've done. We're going to help you get there. How big is the policy? Whatever you put in, it's going to buy death benefit. The death benefit's going to be different. If you are a young, pretty girl, you're going to get the biggest death benefit. You're old, ugly man, you'll get the smallest death benefit. But we're still going to build a bank.
Yep.
Still going to build a bank. So, Melissa, I appreciate that follow if you just followed. Yes. Click that link right there. Go to our regular TikTok profile and click the Linktree link. Watch video will be the top link on the Linktree, and then we'll continue this convo. Okay, it's about time to wrap it up this hour, Jesse.
We've got it. We've done it.
Appreciate the questions, comments, and concerns out there. I'll let George sit in limbo because we're about to shut it down. Perfect. We go live each and every Thursday here on YouTube at the Cash Compound. Ring the bell, school's in session, subscribe, and tell a friend about what you're learning here about code cracking cash flow. We teach the save and spend system, and we hope you choose to save your money, spend someone else's, and F everything you buy. Peace out.
So funny.
You know I had to bring it for him.
So funny.
Oh, well, Will's making a t-shirt.